Hey guys, so Nakota, my fiance, is going to be telling stories about his psycho roommates. I'm not sure which order they're going up in. So,
This one I'll call crazy because there was something wrong mentally, I would say. Uh, so she and I were we'd message after high school to. This was before I met her, a long time before I met her. We'd message after high school because we were both looking for a place in the city, Fresno, because it would be closer to the community college I was going to at the time and jobs that we were getting down there. And we were both looking for a place, and then we both came across a couple of friends that we had while we were down there, and they were married already for a while, and they already had their own place. And they said, "Oh, we have space if you both want to move in. Just pay this much rent and blah blah." And we're like, "Oh, that'll work out just fine." So we both moved into the same room. We shared a room. Um, for the time that we shared a room, she
not the same bed.
no, not the same bed. We had different beds on different corners, and it was she liked to wake up early, like 5 o'clock in the morning early, and go to sleep early, like 9 o'clock at night. And everybody else in the apartment, including myself, were more of late night people. Like I used to stay up to like 4 in the morning. I can't do that anymore. I used to stay up at 4 morning, go to wake up at like 12 because most of my jobs were night shift. It wasn't no mornings or anything. It was all like at that time I worked at Wendy's and Five Guys. And it was like 9 o'clock. It was like 6 o'clock to 1 in the morning type shifts. So I kind of had a night shift thing going, not like graveyards or anything. I don't Now that I think about it, I don't remember what she did for her job, but she liked to get up really early in the mornings to run and stuff. So, but she was not a heavy sleeper. She woke up sometimes to the slightest sounds, sometimes the normal sounds. But when we were out in the, let's say, the living room playing a card game or a board game, because that's what my roommates and I did a lot, if we were loud enough, she'd come out and yell at us and slam doors because she was angry that we woke her up and this and that. And it's like, you're the one that chose to sleep at 9 and get up at 5 when you don't have to. So I don't know. It was weird. I went to the community. This piece of hair right here is the one. There we go. Sorry. So while I was going to community college, she was going to the state college, Fresno State College. Oh my gosh, she was not doing so well in a class. She posted on social media that she threatened to bomb the school. I, I was like, I was like
That's
crazy.
not a funny thing to laugh
I
at,
was
but
like, you can't do that. If the FBI comes in and knocks down the door and takes you away, I can't defend you. I can't do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. I think she took it down a little bit afterwards though, because I was like, you can't do that. She would get mad at the school for her failings. It didn't make any sense. Now I understand getting mad at the school a little bit for the financial aid reason, but not your grades. Definitely not your grades. That's on you. And maybe unless your teacher's an asshole. But then you wouldn't threaten to blow up a whole fucking school.
just the
Which
teacher.
is, but the thing is, not too long ago at that same school, there was a threat of a bomb. A guy posted on social media about it and threatened to blow up the school at some point. And they caught him as he was going to school. Because my theory is he wanted to be caught. He didn't want to actually do it. Because otherwise, why post on social media about it? My theory for why she posts on social media about it is because she's crazy. The now my
Keep moving the camera.
I'm not. I'm literally just holding it in my hand. I'm sorry. I shake, I guess. Um, my my other two roommates were pretty messy, like food on the grounds and they like unfinished plate. Let me just leave that here.
Under
And
the couch.
yeah, it was pretty bad. I barely left my room for that. But there was a point where one of my favorite things, because the other roommate made a joke about it. Um, he or there was a knife, like a steak knife, on the floor next to the shoes where we have all of our shoes, and she got really mad about it at one time, and it was only she and I there, and she's like, "Did you know there's a steak knife near the shoes?" And I was like, no, but I let me move it. She's no, leave it there. I want one of them to step on it to to feel it, so that way they know to pick up their knives or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. A whole week goes by, and nobody said anything. She hasn't said anything. I haven't said anything because I told her I wouldn't. They haven't noticed it, I guess. And finally, the other roommate there, I guess, C for this story, C, she crazy.
We'll come up with a better name.
Crazy tells C, there's a steak knife there on the floor, and she goes, "Oh, I guess there is," and she picked it up and moved it, like not to the sink though, of course, because the sink was full, I'm sure. And she just slammed the door and walked out, and then, so I had to explain to them what that was about, and then so Kay was just like, which is C's now ex-husband, was like, "Oh, I guess we'll have to make
said his name.
I did. Okay.
I'm sure he'll be on a video.
It was like, "Oh, I guess we need to make a sign for the floor, or caution floor may be knifey." I thought it was the dumbest, funniest thing back then. But yeah, so she as in crazy did a lot of weird stuff like that. She'd get angry over the slightest things, and she would slam doors, and she would be very upset whenever we moved or was too loud and woke her up. I mean, I understand if I was woken up, but we did. I mean, going into it, she knew that we were all late sleepers or whatever. Eventually, one of my favorite stories about her though is she said, I want to go on a motorcycle ride. She owned a motorcycle, like, which is cool. You know, I personally can't ride one. I would crash that thing because I can't keep balance on it. Now it's tilted, see? Okay, I can't. Okay. So anyways, she was like, I want to go on a trip. And I was like, oh, you have time to go on a trip? Yeah, it's just a day trip. We'll just go there and hang out and then come back. And I was like, oh, okay, where are you planning to go? San Francisco. It's like 3 hours away, I think. It's like a 3-hour drive.
I think it's 4 hours from Fresno.
It's like 3 or 4, something like that. I was like, okay, well, have fun. She left. Oh, whatever, right? Comes back like an hour later, and I was like, oh, that was the quickest trip to San Francisco I've ever seen. She goes, I got bored partway through. It's like, well, you are riding in a motorcycle, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I would get bored in a car alone. I don't know. I just didn't think about it. As far as I know, she didn't pack any like food or anything either. That's just one of my favorite things. I got bored. Okay, that sucks. She liked to eat a lot of healthy stuff, like kind of like pre-make some stuff, eat some healthy stuff. But she did eat a lot of fast food too. So she's kind of both worlds kind of thing. I think that messed up with some of the gases in her stomach because she farted a lot during her sleep. A lot. I couldn't bring it up either. I tried bringing it up once and I was like, you know, I'm partway through the sentence and I should just stop. Because I didn't know how she would take it. I didn't want to test that at all.
She might stab you with the knife.
Yeah, she had a decent sized bed. Everybody that I lived with had bigger bed than I, like queen size bed. I'm still sitting there with a twin size. My feet hanging off the edge.
I think yours was a full.
It was a full.
Yeah, because I've lived on twins for most of my life.
Okay, well, I had it since I was like middle school. I don't know. I had it for a long time. It was broken, but she did when she was sleeping. She would toss and turn like 360s on her bed. Like one point during the night, she'd be sleeping just fine, you know, head at the top, and then all of a sudden she's down there at the left corner, and then all of a sudden she's done over here at the right side. It's like you need to choose. But when she ate a lot of fast food, she would leave a lot on the bed. Like there's McDonald's, there's pizza boxes, just it was all on her bed. And like eventually it would get too much and she'd have to clean it up. She wasn't necessarily a messy person, which is why I found that one so weird. Like she was usually like extra about being clean, and I understand that, especially with the roommates that we lived with were super messy. And like messy enough to cause cockroaches. Yeah. But she left all that stuff on her bed enough for like even I was getting worried about it. And then she would complain like, oh, I don't understand like why there's a bug here, and I'm like, maybe all the fast food stuff on your bed. But then she would complain about like, oh, I need to eat healthier, and she would eat healthy. But you gotta if you're gonna commit to a healthy thing, you gotta commit to a healthy thing. You can't just be back and forth like that. I mean, every once in a while you should treat yourself, I guess, you know? I don't know. I guess it was because everything was too easy to acquire in a city. But I can't think of
You know
anything
what
else.
I miss in that city?
What's that?
Wingstop.
Can't think of anything else that has ever happened. She eventually left because she lost her job. She paid for the next month that she was going to live there and moved in with her brother, I think it was. I helped her move out. I helped her move out, I think. Yeah, I helped her move, and I think that was the last I really ever heard from her. I never really heard from her too much. But it was also weird because she was nice when she wanted to be. Like for my birthday, my 20th, I think, birthday. I mean, we had a big old get together. People got me food and we played some games and whatnot. But she stopped by after she was out doing something else, and she came back and she goes, "Oh, here's a present for you," and it's a brand new pair of shoes. So like she was decent. I still have those shoes somewhere too because I don't particularly wear those kinds of shoes, but I wear shoes until they're worn. Like the ones I have right now have cracks in the bottom. So I mean, she was crazy a little bit, but she was nice too when she wanted to be. You said I learned what was the term I used? To live around, so that way I can live with. I didn't really do that so much for the other two.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Okay.
it.
Well, that's all that we have for that one. So goodbye.